normal rate for the house shop rent was 1.2, but the price was increased to 3.5 this very year.
Before now, I was paying 200,000 where I stay, just a small apartment, and now he's coming to tell me that I'm going to pay 350,000.
In Kubwa, where I'm living before, two-bedroom apartment is 700,000. Suddenly, the landlord took it to 1 million naira.
The apartment was about 900, but recently they skyrocketed it to about 2 million.
Imagine my landlord gave me a letter, I think about around November. I was given a letter that if I go around, I will discover that the rent around the area now has increased. So now they increased my rent from 2.1 to 2.8.
The normal rate for the house shop rent was 1.2, but the price was increased to 3.5 this very year.
In Kubwa, where I'm living before, two-bedroom apartment is 700,000. Suddenly, the landlord took it to 1 million naira. The way the thing is going on in FCT, I hope the government can come to the head of the tenants.
The apartment was about 900, but recently they skyrocketed it to about 2 million. If government can come in to regulate everything, I believe it will be good in the side of the tenant.
In Nigeria, Abuja's price hike in real estate has been the craziest. You know, Lagos and Abuja are up there, but Abuja's on a different level. It's like at every end of the year, going into a new year, the percentage increase is so crazy.
The excuse that we always have most times is the fact that the economy is biting hard, the cost of building materials are going up high, and the cost of maintenance of structures are also high, and so that explains us, is the justification for the hike that is currently being experienced in the FCT.
Because of conversations we've had with a lot of people are suffering. House hunting is a very, very traumatic experience for a lot of people because of the hike in prices. People can hardly pay for houses. In fact, it has given birth to a lot of people sharing rent. So people are sharing apartments now. You see a lot of shared apartments are coming up more and more because the young person that is coming to Abuja, that is coming to serve, can barely pay for the rent. As a couple that is collecting how much? 3,000 for this, and how you want to pay for self-con that you go for 700,000.
Simple something I tell you, you not understand. Send card for me. Let me call the person and confirm which location the house there. They ask me different question. How to answer you?
I'm not aware of any law in Abuja that talks about the number of months notice that you should give, but then there's the test of reasonability. So for an annual tenant, for instance, if you give a 3 months, 6 months notice of intention to review rent, it's still reasonable. The law can accommodate you in that circumstance. Now, when you give that review, when you give that rent notice of review of rent, the tenant has 3 options. 1, either to pay the newly reviewed rent. 2, to see the landlord, possibly to negotiate the rent, and then they come, to meeting of minds on what the new rent should be. Or he could decide to challenge that increment as being unreasonable.
Where do you expect people? We're crying that people are not paid enough. We're crying that people don't have the means to buy their own homes because of interest rate. Because if the interest rate is reasonable in Nigeria, say at 3-4%, many of these tenants will be homeowners. The main thing you must understand here is that when you buy a property investment is a long-term investment. You cannot recover. What is wrong is that in Nigeria, most landlords want to recover their investments within 2 years, 4 years. Hence, they're talking about payment of rent in 2 years in advance. So, no, it's a long-term investment for everybody.